Welcome to Hidden Squids Gaming. Here's the second unedited dungeon. As per request, I'm actually going to show my trinket thoughts and maybe some of my skill thoughts as we go through this. Currently, I'm going to take my Crusader along here. I'm debating if I want to bring along trinkets that increase the HP healing received more, but then my other trinket kind of counteracts that for only 10% more HP and no food consumption. So I'm looking to take that one off, and I'm trying to think, what do I want? I have a lot of trinkets. This is my very first playthrough, so if you're noticing I have like 74,000 gold and all that other stuff, that's why. So I'm looking at them like plus 2 speed, minus 20% move resistance. It kind of boosts up that really slow speed of the Crusader, and I think I'm going to sit around on that. I could check a couple other trinkets, but that's what I want to go with right now. I'm taking Holy Lance. I'm not taking the stun because I want the double front row hit on my Crusader. It's a toss-up. Sometimes I like to take the stun in, and usually I've been leading stun more recently on the Crusader. I'm looking at my Grave Robber trinket. She's got the garlic, she's got the paw, it gives her more accuracy and stuff. I got the dagger, I got lunge, I got pickaxe, all really good. I don't think I'm really going to change anything on her. I'm looking at my Vestal here. I'm going to actually take off the one and then put on the stun, because I want to keep illumination on just in case there's any stealth individuals. Looking at the minus 20% party surprise and 20% surprising enemies, I don't want that one on right now. I'm only doing a short dungeon. I'm going to put on the tough ring to cancel out the 15% HP loss and also to give me some extra protection. I don't really care about the minus 15% damage because she's not going to be doing any damage anyway, so I don't care about that. And then we're looking for the last piece of the party here. I'm thinking of bringing about along that highwayman. I got minus 20% stress. I got the ancestral candle, which is one of my favorite trinkets. I got point blank. I got repose. I got bleed. I got gunshots. I got some good campfire abilities on. I'm also going to look at some of the quirks on the Vestal to make sure they're not party ruining. I'm getting ready to go in here. I'm going to skip the loading once we're ready. I'm not going to do any dungeons inside the weld because I'm getting a 15% damage increase. Therefore, I'm going to move to the Cove so you can see a normal party function. I'm going to bring in 12 food because sometimes exploring rooms can make you do a lot of backtracking and a lot of more necessary food eating. Me buying items, I usually buy 3 of everything in a small dungeon. You never know what kind of RNG you're going to get with heroes and interactables. And also, the Grave Robber brings along 1 shovel so I don't have to. We start the dungeon with an immediate double scout, which is really nice, but here's the thing, I have to explore 90% of the rooms, and this current layout is personally I think one of the worst ones for explore the rooms, because I have to go down 3, and then now I have to come back 3, so it's really annoying. If this was battle rooms, it might have been better, but not possibly, because there could be a battle room at the very end. I get another scout, and it would have been better if this was battle rooms, but we have to live with what we chose. Eldritch Slayer is a really good positive quirk to get over the Weapon Tinker since he obviously has his max level weapon and he's also max level resolve. Now we're getting ready for our first fight in here. It's only a 3 fight room and they get surprised, so this is going to be a fairly easy fight, or at least should be. Especially since I have riposed and that critical in this party for the cutthroats and for the other guy. Now what I did wrong here is I actually don't have the Vestal in row 3, so she couldn't actually use illumination, which is the point of why I brought her along, was to de-stealth individuals. So that's an error on my end, and right here, Zealous Accusation is why I brought it along. We get rid of both cutthroats right away. And that's a nice 28 critical, and when I said the fight was going to be easy, I didn't expect it to be that easy, you know. A couple of criticals in there, a really nice 28 critical riposte. Not something we actually expect every other day. Looking back on this, I still haven't swapped out the Vestal to the 3rd position yet, and I think I just kind of forgot because of how easy last fight was. That was an error. Make sure when you obviously put on abilities, you put them in the rows you intend them to be at. I'm going to try to stun the swordsman though because they do a lot of damage, and then I'm going to try to kill the stinger. An unfortunate miss, but my last fight went way better than expected, so I'm really not going to complain too much about that. The stingers are really annoying because they add some nice bleed and stuns, which is why I was kind of hoping my Crusader could have killed the stinger. Alas, he did not. It's not a huge deal because I did get the initial surprise. And now we're just going to pick to the face the Armored Maggot. Once again, I really like the Grave Robbers and the Shield Breakers to get through protection enemies. And I feel like the Cove has a decent amount of high protection enemies, while other dungeons have a lot of protection enemies, but just in lower percentages. Once again, Riposte is really nice there, and now I'm only down to the Tidemaster, which I can now stun. Once again, gets a dodge. I'm not going to complain about my RNG right now because these fights are going rather well for me. This party's not the best at taking away stress damage, so I do have to look out about how much stress damage I do take. And also, the Grave Robber has no way to move back without other people either moving forward on her or her obviously taking a turn to move back. Maybe putting an ability on her where she can move back once would be really good. Again, that's another dodge. Hopefully I can get the Tidemaster on this hit, and I do, which is nice. I still wouldn't call that bad luck. It was an 80% chance, and recently 80% chances feel like 50, but I'm sure it works out statistically. As I said before, this is a longer dungeon, so I'm going to try to, I use that Kuro to get me more food, just in case I use one extra. And now I'm looking at this and I'm debating whether or not I want to replace it for the tome, and I do. So now I give her more health. I'm going to use some of that food I just got to eat to get more health, because I like the 33% chance. Now the only negative thing of putting that trinket on is obviously the minus 10% chance to stun. And stunning is one of the big things I want my Vestal to do right now. And once again, I do not care about the damage reduction. I activate that Kuro, and honestly it would have ruined me if I didn't have any herbal medicines along, but that's why I usually buy like 3 to 4 just in case some bad debuffs happen. I just tried it to see what it does. I usually don't do a lot of Cove related Kuros that I don't know for situations like that. Something that could benefit me is going onto the Wikipedia, looking up all the Kuros, and not trying to memorize, but trying to identify a little more than I know now. I have a lot of them memorized right now that I use frequently, and like which ones I want to use, but it's the room Kuros that usually catch me off guard because they're not as frequent, and sometimes they can't even take like an item, so I usually avoid them. I'm walking a lot, there's not a lot of fights, and this kind of happens in Explore the Rooms sometimes, you know. This is why I like battle rooms a little more. Sometimes I feel like it's less walking, or less not action. I like getting stuff. I don't like going to places that don't promise a lot of loot and a lot of walking. We've been extremely fortunate with our battles so far. We've been getting a lot of surprises and not exactly strong compositions. So I'm not going to complain about any of my luck right now. Even with the minus 10% chance, we still get that nice stun on the Pelagic Swordsman or the Piranha. And we only do 15 damage, so that's not a huge deal. Once again, the Riposte comes out, finishing the enemy off. Riposte is amazing. If you haven't used Riposte, highly recommend it. Nice lunge there to do a good chunk of damage. 46 dodge, would have liked to see a dodge there, but it wasn't massive damage, nothing that we can't heal out of. I was just debating what skill to kill the Piranha with. So far this has been rather cut and dry. There hasn't been too many different surprises. I'm looking which items to get rid of. At this point in the game, I don't need too many crests and stuff, but I do think I'm going to put on the blueprints soon. And I'm going to need a lot of random related trinkets and items for that. So I'm going to actually start collecting them and money again. I don't need that. That cures the disease. I'm just trying to keep my torch above 75 as normal. I'm going to just pop one holy water, get in there. I don't know I'm going to fight in the next room or two. So I just got rid of my medicinal herbs. And of course, she gets a huge debuff on her from the trap. We're going to continue adventuring. I could have walked out of this with a decent amount of loot and low stress on everybody, but I'm going to go to the very end of this. and we're going to do one more battle room. I don't have any torches left, which is not going to help me, and I also killed a torch here to try to increase my loot in there, which is slightly problematic for my last room because it is a battle room if you're looking at the time on this video. So I get rid of my food to put some extra gold in there, and I was kind of hoping there wasn't a battle room, but there is. This setup isn't the worst, but I don't exactly handle it the best because I didn't really change up my party for optimal fighting, which is going to come back to really haunt me. It's always very important to have your party in the positions you want them to. I got very lazy in this because I was thinking, the dungeon's over, I'm probably not going to run into a battle room. And of course, when you probably think you're not going to run into something, you do. So learn from my mistake, put your party in the positions you need them to be in. And also the double criticals on my knight really didn't help at all. That's kind of like an unlucky part, but what are you going to do? I'm in pitch black. I'm pretty much asking for it. I do get a critical on the heal. So I'm not saying that's unlucky, the amount of criticals I got on me, because I'm in pitch black and these Piranha swordsmen are very good at doing criticals and damage, so it's not really that surprising. I take care of both of them because they did the massive damage, which is a shame because I'm leaving the cultist switch alive who can start doing the pulls and the pushes and all that. So my party is getting extremely moved around and I don't like that at all. And my grave robber hasn't been able to use her versatility I would like her to use because she's in the front row only using the pickaxe. I take this time to heal because I got hurt pretty bad in this fight. In all reality, since this was the last room in the dungeon, I probably should have tried to stun the cultist witch so she couldn't use the stressful incantation as she did. That's another mistake. I for some reason decided heals over stunning, even though I know this dungeon was going to be done after this fight. And obviously all your people get health when they return back to Hamlet. But that was a poor move on my end. I did not like that. And I paid for it because I got an affliction on one of my heroes. And now with my whole party messed up, I'm just trying to do some reduced. I'm going to kill the torch again though. I don't want this torch to go up because I want the max prize loot. Once again, I don't know why I'm healing. That should have been a stun. That was another error. All I can think of is I was trying to get some criticals to reduce stress, but that wasn't worth it. I should have just stunned to make sure he couldn't hit me again. If you liked me going over the initial trinkets and skills, let me know and I'll just keep doing it because it doesn't take that much time and it does help me even explain my own processes and kind of catch my own mistakes why I do things. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe below.